Oh,
Yo, greetings. Welcome back to the show, my podcast. Greetings, pod. How y'all doing today, man? Today is January 12th. You feel me? You now rocking with the best, man. You rocking with Surreal, man.
oh, cool in the building, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes,
Forever
sir.
winning. You know how it goes. You feel me? But today it's a different day, like all every day, man. And you know it's getting more interesting as we search around the world, man, and we see what's going on, man. It's a lot of things happening. The people standing up for themselves, and they ain't putting up with the drama of you know, the whole illusion of work hard, and the government would do great things for you and your family, and they're gonna put back in. They're gonna be fair, but they found out that a lot of things ain't going that way. And not only are they not being fair, there's allegations of them actually causing self harm to other people. So, it's definitely something that people say we're gonna stand up and fight back for, because abuse is something that nobody wants to deal with, nobody wants to go through, and guess what? Everybody got a right to stand up and fight for themselves. You hear me? So, Iran is going up and down and turning me. It's going all over the place, man, and like it's just it's a situation again, man. We have some clips, man. Let's look at these clips. Let's get into it, and then we're gonna come back with some commentary, man. Let's not wait too long because this is interesting to me, man. You hear me? Very interesting. But they got bombs and everything else going on. It's a
The
cockpit.
Ayatollah's lockdown has led to a national depression. Iranians no longer trust the system they live in. This financial panic is existential. Citizens are pulling money out of banks at record levels, forcing the regime to implement draconian controls. This is turning into an Iranian Revolution 2.0. Because when people lose faith in countries' banks, they have lost faith in the country itself. And if history is any guide, this is exactly how regimes fall. Last night, Iran's largest state-owned bank, Bank Mali, has reportedly suspended all cash withdrawals following a bank run during the protest. This indicates significant financial instability and a potential crisis of confidence in country's banking sector. People don't trust the government to protect their money. That's why they want to withdraw it. And the government is saying, "Nuh-uh, let's rewind a bit to understand how we got here." These protests did not start because of politics. They started because Iranians could not afford to live. Prices were climbing 10-20% every single month. Not every year, every month. Rice, eggs, cooking oil, medicine, everything was getting more expensive while wages stayed frozen. The average Iranian was watching his life get harder in real time with no end in sight. And then the regime just made it worse. Much worse. Here's what the government did. They devalued the Iranian currency, Iranian rial, and they did this on purpose. So the question rises, why would the government intentionally destroy the value of its own currency? Well, the answer lies with the corrupt elites. The elites who run this regime make their money from oil exports. They sell oil in dollars. And when they devalue the rial, every dollar they earn suddenly buys them twice as much rials. Let me make this simple. Before devaluation, $1 got you 700,000 rials. After, 1.4 million rials. The regime just doubled their money overnight. So mullahs got richer. The Revolutionary Guard got richer. Everyone connected to oil exports got richer. But ordinary Iranians, they got crushed. Because everything they buy, rice, wheat, medicine, clothes, comes from abroad. And now it all costs twice as much to import, which means it costs twice as much to buy. People's savings became worthless so the regime could pad its pockets. That's not economic policy, that's theft. To make matters worse, the extra money that the regime is earning, well, that doesn't actually go to the people. It went to Hezbollah, it went to Hamas, and it went to the Houthis. Iranian citizens are starving, so
Let's go ahead, people. that's when they started to do their little propaganda and magic, you know, because that not necessarily mean that this money went to those groups that he listed, because we don't know where the money went to. But let's just be for real. We know it didn't go to the people. You feel me? Because the people showing y'all didn't come to us, because they up in arms and they throwing stuff around, and that's crazy that they actually did that, bro. But that's like the biggest robbery ever, man. They some world class gangsters with that one, man. And like, so to be honest with you, some people even in America have they have stocks and stuff inside. Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, you're cool. You got something to say?
Nah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Line your plan.
But even in
Go talk,
America,
talk.
they got people that have stocks that is tied into the Iranian stock market. And the sad part, but it's good, is that a lot of them made money. But the people on the ground itself, man, has not made no money, and they starving them out by making things more expensive, just like our buddy said in the clip. And you can't be mad at them for going out there rioting, man, because it's like, bro, we already ain't making it. This little bit of money I get, I gotta go give it to you, and like that and all that. Come on, man, that's crazy. So to me, shout out to them, man. Fight they fight. We got some more clips about it, because we gotta find out more about it. But what you think about them boys taking that money like that? Or cool, they see Donald Trump backing up, so they say fuck
Well, they been taking poor man's money since the beginning of time, bro.
it. Like that though, they made it like to where it's like 10 times. So it's like if you got $100 today, and that $100 will get you some J's and everything. Tomorrow, that $100 only getting you a pack of gum, and they don't even want to sell it the gum for 100. They try and sell it for 200. Like that's how bad it is. You feel me? That's why they say, man, that's
Yeah,
like
that.
robbery.
All of this is inflation, and that's why you need to get you some bitcoins.
Yeah, but that's that's different than inflation, man. That's a state that's state robation. Like they robbed them people, man. They robbed them people, bro. That 1 day time, bro. Inflation happened in over a year. In 1 day time, you mean tell me my dollar yesterday I could buy J's. Today I can't even buy a pack of gum. Like that don't make sense.
Yeah, look like you should have bought that gum yesterday instead of today. But
Yeah.
but all jokes aside,
Mhm.
that's just a small example of how our money just it ain't. Even though we think because we have more of it, the value of money is dropping.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's just showing you the value of money itself is really dropping. So we do need to come together as people. You see what I'm saying?
To get
Well,
more
we
of it.
could cut out. Right, right. We could get what you call it? Say the modern system or the bartering system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We come up with whatever.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
we if we come back to that, well, you do a task for me or whatever, we trade in goods or something like that, or you help me, I help you,
Hmm.
and we cut out the money and no don't work for the money, then shoot, that cut them off. That hurt them.
Right. Right. And it'll make them feel what we've been feeling, because the sad part is the reason they up there with that money is because they have found a way to get money from poor people who really wasn't. And when I say poor, I mean people. Let me not say poor people. Get money from people who was not paying attention to where their money was going. Meaning that they were working for their money and they were just buying goods, not realizing that it was going to an evil person that's going to really set up something bad for you in the future.
Man, money is an illusion, bro.
Right. But did that illusion It wields many power. You see?
Yeah.
So it's like that illusion is still a tool that has to be used properly. You see, because
Yeah. It has a hold on us because of the way we feel. It has weight. But
hmm
when once the people realize their true power, bro, these so-called elites will have no power.
but and see to be real with you, the money is backed by also is backed by bullets, because whenever we do exercise certain things as human beings and we start to like grow farms and grow food and build shelter on a mass level that is free, then here comes the bullet, whether it's in the form of a bomb or some real bullets. It's gonna destroy whatever we create, because why? They have to maintain their system. But see, the people know how to get to them, man, and that's why they protesting right now. That's why they out there showing them that hey, they fighting fire with fire, man. Cause that's what the language they understand.
Man, the best protesting is boycotting, bro.
Yeah.
Cause you out there yelling and screaming, man, them people in their offices and stuff just laughing at us, bro.
But I guess it's a phase to it too. But see, I don't think the people go out through all the phases. They start with the anger phase, right? And like they tear up some stuff, and that's cool. Tear it up, get that about your system. But then after they tear it up, they don't continue to organize and build up. You feel me? Build up different infrastructures, build up different things that people would want to follow and would want to build, because a lot of people just have an innate will to want to follow something. You feel me? To want to be a part of something. You see? So it's like, but create something good that they could be a part of. And see, that's what don't always take place. And when that don't take place, no matter what you do, you fall right back into that same system. Because eventually you're going to run out of food, you're going to need some food. And see, that's what they know. That's why they play the long game. You see? They play that long game with people. But I got another clip though. Let's hop into it, man. Let's see what everybody got his ups and downs. All these countries got to play.
Overnight, standing in solidarity with protesters fighting against oppression in Iran. The president writing on True Social, "We are locked and loaded and ready to go."
So, as protesters storm Iran's capital, it looks like the entire country is slated for collapse, because the capture of Venezuela's dictator means Iran's radical leaders have just lost their lifeline, as their partner in crime is no longer around to help them launder money, fund extremist groups, and evade U.S. sanctions. Meanwhile, President Trump says America is ready to defend Iranian protesters if their government tries anything.
Tonight, tense clashes between protesters and security forces in Iran. The demonstrations have been escalating for days, sparked by worsening economic conditions in the country.
The violent protests forced a government shutdown in 21 provinces as protests spread over skyrocketing prices and economic collapse. The protests are the largest in Iran since 2022.
I was told last summer that if the president struck the Iranian nuclear program, the consequences would be World War III and the consolidation of support for the Iranian regime within Iran. Obviously, the opposite essentially in both cases has come to pass.
Cost of living is high, inflation is soaring, and Iran's currency recently crashed to a record low against the dollar.
He means it. And he means what he says here. I think he understands that the people there are going to be a target. I think he understands that we have the upper hand on oil. And the president of the United States of America has been crystal clear. You don't mess with him. When he tells you there's a red line, he means it.
So as protests rock Iran, the connection between that nation and Venezuela cannot be understated. And what nobody's talking about is the capture of Venezuela's dictator now means other dictatorships that used to cooperate with his
they soon collapse as well. And Iran especially is in a tough spot because the protests rocking its capital started before the U.S. moved on Maduro, removing the dear leader from his bedroom at 2 a.m. and placing him in a New York City jail before he even knew what time it was. An event that spells bad news for Iran's dictatorship and supreme leader, who just lost their strategic partner with whom they evaded U.S. sanctions on their corrupt economies and help train and fund dangerous groups. And here's how that worked. Failing communist Venezuela always runs out of gasoline because they can't seem to refine their own oil, which just spurts out of the ground. Oil which they were shipping across the world to Iran, who would...
See, and with that sarcastic tone, man, that kills me, bro. Because, see, what he don't understand is, it's like that because America built it like that, man. Like, America was supposed to be helping them boys with them plants and everything, and then they backed out of the deal, you feel me? So, and then over there, well, to be honest with you, I ain't think of it like that, but taking Venezuela oil and everything, that you see why them boys was down with doing it, because they trying to take down Iran. And America being in war with Iran a while back in the day. You feel me? And Iran has some big forces and stuff, but the stuff that they say going on now, man, it's gonna make the people more upset. But Trump, he threatened and he say, if they do anything to the people, like I shoot them, kill them, or whatever, that he gonna come and do his thing. And that's funny because it's like, yeah, the people, they do what they do, but it's funny that you think that you're gonna just be able to pull up on Iran like that. I ain't saying you're gonna lose or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be a fight, man, because they gonna have to calm them people down some way. And the higher ups in their country not mad at them because they made plenty of money in that deal. So it's a sad situation, man, and they gonna have to stay up out of it because America wouldn't want nobody getting their business, So I don't know, man. If they go after Iran, all the other countries, they gonna have to team up because they gonna see this happening, bro, and they gonna be like, nah, we gotta work. This is crazy how the world, like, governments and lines are just shifting in real time, bro. That's crazy, man. It's like new maps is being drawn on the world right now. That's crazy. Like 5 years ago, nobody would ever thought Venezuela would be the next state of the United States of America. But essentially, that's what it is now. Because Trump just said that, man, we might have to stay in Venezuela and for a good while. For like a couple of years, for at least 10 to 15 years. We're like, what? That means you trying to really make Venezuela America. And that's, that's something, man. And it look like he gonna keep on going, like there's no stoppage. You feel me? You see that look cool? That's different, bro. That's a whole different monster.
I don't think they're trying to make it. Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't think, but it's just like how they was in the Gulf, bro. When they stayed there for a little while, saying they helping the people with this and that, and giving them military stuff to help them with their army and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna. Now, I ain't trying to say because you never know. Because I don't know what they thinking, but right now I don't think they trying to make it another part. Well, yeah, they strictly trying to make it a part, but I don't think it's gonna name the 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 51st state of the United States.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna get.
Maybe
I
not.
don't think
Yeah.
it's that, but I don't think it's gonna get that far. But you never know dealing with these jokers.
Right. But I don't think Trump. Like you say, you ain't never know. But I don't think Trump can take it that far. You feel me? But you never know. Correct.
Boy, you never know. You see, you just rename the Gulf of America the Gulf of the United States.
Right.
So
Right, no, right. The Gulf Seas. That's how funny it is. No, he trying to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Right? That's the funny part.
yo, bro,
And he made it
something
to
that
where
band name like that, but
for years,
go ahead.
right? No, it's been named that way for years, and then he actually tried to put legislation behind it to where certain things is actually like that, you know. But it's funny though. I mean,
That's where it showed you he on a conquering mission, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He trying to put everything in the name of America, and not just that. That's why Greenland got to watch out because he going for Greenland, bro. Because he say, think about it, right? Most of the technology that's going to happen in the world, right? It needs to be in a cold, extremely cold environment, bro. Because these things get hot. These machines and stuff get hot. You feel me?
Yeah,
So people don't
yeah,
understand Greenland is mostly ice. It's plenty ice.
yeah,
And it's right in between
yeah.
China and different places. It's a great strategic location. You see? So like I definitely don't see nothing against it. Trump grabbing that spot because Trump he be watching technology a little bit, man. Even if he may not understand everything, he gonna pretend like he do. You feel me? And he gonna have somebody who
Oh,
really do be around him. You feel me?
yeah, you know that part.
You feel me? So,
And Trump has called out numbers that don't make sense.
but he making a way through no way, man. And like that's funny, bro. But it's like he's doing it, man. And it's like the world kind of need to shook up, but then it kind of didn't because it's destabilizing a lot of stuff. But it was like these things were like already on the verge of cracking. You feel me? And that's what happens when you have people who really don't know how to run a government instead of just being greedy people. You feel me? Wow.
All it is people who into the war game making money, bro. Time for them to make money. That's all it is.
Yes. Okay. All right, come on now. Yes, yes, yes. That's how I go, cuz. But I do have a clip though. Let me get to this clip real quick, and then I'll be right back. I'll do that quick.
The Ayatollah can fund proxy wars across the Middle East.
On shop shelves in Iran, products abound, but no one's buying. Amid the worst economic crisis in years, they just don't have the money.
A liter of cooking oil used to be 790,000 reals. It's now 1.85 million. As the government announced, prices for other goods will rise by 50% to 100%. As goods become more expensive, costs for all services will increase too. The price hikes will spread into other areas of people's lives.
Iranians took to the streets late last month as the rial plunged to 1.4 million against the US dollar. With inflation in overdrive, the rial's lost 60% of its value against the greenback since summer. While warning of severe consequences for rioters, Iranian authorities have struggled to shore up the collapsing economy, recently ending a subsidized exchange rate for importers that was meant to suppress prices for essential products in favor of paying Iranians directly.
We have not eliminated subsidies. Instead, we have started depositing the subsidies into the bank accounts of all residents.
The sum, about $7, ought to pay for around 100 eggs and a few kilos of rice or chicken at current prices. While it'll help Iran's poorest, the policy change is set to push prices even higher.
I think they saw that they couldn't rein in inflation, so they said, let's give people 1 million tomans so we can somehow absorb the pressure to hold it back. I mean, it's like a temporary painkiller.
Take a look at the price increases in just first 10 days of the year. Cooking oil has gone up 133%. That's more than double in 10 days. Same thing with eggs. Chicken gone up 70%, rice 30%, and meat 16%. And the government is publicly admitting that it's going to get worse. If that's what they're willing to say out loud, imagine what they're hiding. This is exactly why protests started on December 28th. And guess what? The government was willing to let this happen. They were happy with people protesting about the economy. In fact, they admitted their mistakes too. Here's the Iranian president publicly saying that they messed up. Take a listen.
I am to blame for the current situation. The people, employees, or students are not to blame for the current situation. I am to blame. We are to blame. We must correct our performance. If the people are dissatisfied, we are to blame, not America or anyone else. Do not look for America or anyone else to blame. We are the ones who must serve properly so that the people are satisfied with us. It is we who must manage resources correctly. We must strive and find a way to solve the problems. The blame lies with me. The blame lies with us. That student, that worker, those people, they...
Yeah, that's what they get though. We're trying to, pretend for years, man. This, I don't like people that's like, cause see, the whole government thing's supposed to be where it gives an opportunity to a regular person who grew up in a country, who have great nationality, feel into that country, and that sees things that's wrong, and decides these are the great things that I could do to rebuild this country and make this better for everybody else. Now, if it really was like that, then guess what? There wouldn't be so much falling governments all the time. See what I'm saying? But see, the thing about it, man, if they're not operating like Ben Foxy, when they're getting there, even if the first one do good, right, and they go in there with great intentions, they didn't like the attention, they like the power. Sometimes they get selfish in thought and they think that, oh, only me and my family have the abilities to run this thing. So then guess what they do? They go and they say, all right, I'm gonna hand this down to my son. Let it be in a direct way, and certain things like kings and queens, or it be in an indirect way, where they just rig a system to where their child gets elected as the head of the country. So when it happens like that, man, a lot of the kids, they don't grow up as their parents with the same mindset, the same experiences, and the same things. So therefore, they won't think the same way, and they won't have the same appreciation for everything. So when their child get in power, right, they do what they want to do in a selfish manner. And when doing that, it's like, okay, bada boom, bada bing. You see, it's going down because you only think about money. Because you grow up as a child that likes money, that's involved with money. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing there, man. And it's like, once we understand that and get through that, then we'll be better people. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it tip run. You feel me? Unless I'm cool from you, but if you don't do that, then you can head back to it. You feel me? Because he talking about how Venezuela they got that. I want to talk about how bad it is on the ground. You feel me? That's a good one.
Would keep some of it as payment and then send the rest back to Venezuela as refined fuel. On top of that, Venezuela was funding various Iranian groups who commit crime, launder money, and exploit the U.S. border, and some of Venezuela's islands were even bases for Iranian military activities, which supported all of the above right on America's doorstep. But as you're about to see, the most frightening thing for Iran's leaders isn't happening in their country where the protests are taking place. No, instead it's happening all over the Western Hemisphere.
Gracias, Dios mío. Gracias. Me arrodillé y lloré en mi casa. Mucha emoción. el ambiente es impresionante y el
Venezuelans all over the world are celebrating the fall of Nicolas Maduro, an alleged cartel leader and one of the most dangerous dictators to ever walk the earth. And that's terrifying for the leaders of Iran, who are now wondering if they could suddenly find themselves removed from power in ways they don't even think are possible.
Good night. Good night. Happy New Year.
Maduro didn't think this was possible, and up until he was extracted from his bedroom by armed Marines, he was threatening America, said he's not going anywhere. President Trump even called him and said, listen, you should leave Venezuela, you should protect your family, and he ignored that. Now he's in federal custody. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And this is something the protesters in Iran are no doubt watching as they take to the streets to secure their country before it collapses completely, with hyperinflation destroying their economy, leading to food and energy price increases Joe Biden and America's Socialist Democrat Party could only dream of creating. And things are so bad in the country right now that Iran may fall in weeks or even in the next few days.
The demonstrations have been escalating for days, sparked by worsening economic conditions in the country. Cost of living is high, inflation is soaring, and Iran's currency recently crashed to a record low against the dollar. This video shows a protester sitting in the street, appearing to defy officers, leading some online to draw comparisons to this image from Tiananmen Square. While in Tehran, a number of shopkeepers closed their doors in protest earlier this week. They appear to be the biggest demonstrations in the country since 2022, when mass protests erupted over the death of Mahsa Amini after she was arrested for not properly wearing a hijab.
So everything's collapsing in Iran at the exact same time. The currency's becoming worthless. People are struggling to buy food. Business.
Yeah, like you say, a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. Yeah, a lot of things happen. And there might be a time that Trump then might decide to strike, but see, I don't know if Iran has any resources. What you think of food? I don't know what they got over there. For Trump,
Well, I don't know. Boy, I see things according to what I see now, boy. That look like a Cold War coming, like how they hit what you call it, like how they hit Russia.
Oh, what you mean they hit Russia? Who hit Russia?
Like how Russia had to go in that Cold War when Russia was meant had to regroup.
Oh,
And they
The Soviet Union. Yeah, but Russia
when
was
they dropped.
created. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right, because why you look because America going all over the place, huh? That's why you say that?
No, because the prices and the people not be able to afford these stuff, and the pay not going up. Only thing that's going to cause is more crime, bro. It's going to cost more crime, and the shop owners won't be able to be able to sustain the shop because they won't be able to pay their bills because people won't be able to come in to buy the goods.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct. And then they gonna not have the goods because, like you say, it's gonna be more people that's gonna be trying to take the goods.
Yeah, that's the crime rate going to increase.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
And then after the crime rate increase, then they're gonna release the military and the police saying they gotta control the neighborhood and control things. So that's when they're gonna put their foot on their neck and start doing all these so-called like martial law type of things. You see what I'm saying?
Probably start rationing out food to people. Sure.
Yeah. Because you gotta realize if the people can't buy your goods in your stores, eventually it's gonna hurt the store owner. The store owner won't be able to sustain the store, bro.
Right. It all comes to here. Sure. Yeah. These are things. That's why I say America might strike at them right now, but I don't see why they would. But because that'd be spreading itself extremely thin, you know. Because I know they
Yeah.
still gotta watch. But he did threaten that if they do anything to the protesters, that they're just gonna shoot back. So I don't know. One thing about Trump, man, it seems like when he say something, he gonna do that, mug, bro. That's what it seems like, bro. You feel me? But to switch it up, man, let's find out about some different type of powers. You feel me? That may be greater than some gunpowder. You feel me? So let's see what's happening on this thing. Let's educate ourselves today. Let's see what he talking about. Let's see what my man talking about.
Of the Anunnaki and their ancient secrets revealed. Eric von Daniken attended a Jesuit boarding school where his interest in religion also led him to futurology and molecular biology. After attending school, he is trained as a cook and waiter. His job also took him on ocean liners. He continued his scientific and futurological studies, which eventually led him to alien astronauts. Von Daniken was awarded many Lifetime Achievement Awards over the years for his commitment to science journalism. It is an honor to have him as an expert guest on Anunnaki, Ancient Secrets Revealed. So Eric, have you found any evidence of extraterrestrial influence in ancient art or architecture?
It always comes up with new information. For example, in French Brittany, we have these gigantic stone lines. They are there since centuries, since thousands of years. But what is new, brand new, it turns out that these stones are not just standing there by coincidence. They are all laid out in Pythagorean triangles. Pythagoras was a Greek mathematician, 500 BC. But these stones in French Brittany are 5,000 years ago. So they knew nothing about Pythagorean triangles. Somebody in the deep past must have told our Stone Age people, you, just bring stones. Maybe they showed them how to move them in an easier way. You bring stones, and you put them there and there exactly in the way we order it to you. The question is why, and I have an idea why. In the deep past, these people knew exactly that generation would pass, and thousands of years in the future, the new generations will stumble over these stones, and they will ask, hey, Pythagorean triangles, 5,000 years BC, how is this possible? Now the questions come up, and that's exactly what we do today. We ask the question because of these stones laid out 5,000 years in the past. Without these stones, we would have no questions today.
So Eric, how do these recent studies compare to those that you've studied in the past?
Well, the knowledge is different. The study in the past, archaeology practically every month comes up with new discoveries, especially in the Great Pyramid. This is the never-ending story. In the Great Pyramid, practically every year, new shafts, new rooms are discovered. So this is new, the information, but the way, how they have done it, and for what purpose they have done it, that's all the old questions. We still have no answers, we have a lot of questions.
Absolutely. So what challenges have you faced trying to get the archaeological community to accept these new facts?
Well, they will never accept these new facts. The archaeological community, they are wonderful, honest, integral personalities, wonderful personalities, but they don't think the way I do. I have come up with the idea that all it has to do with extraterrestrials. Of course, the humans made these things, not extraterrestrials. The humans made these stones, these alignments, not the extraterrestrials. But the question was why? Who gave them the order? The extraterrestrials. So archaeology don't think in extraterrestrials. They think it's all natural. It happened just by coincidence. I am not afraid of coincidence.
Earlier you talked about the Pythagorean triangles that were laid out in a particular pattern by these ancient cultures. Are there any other significant artifacts or ancient sites that have the similar patterns or patterns that stand out to you?
Definitely yes. And the question is always the same. Thousands of years ago, Our ancestors were Stone Age people. Now, they start to lay out stones, gigantic stones first. Why? Who gave the order? And it's not the question of one generation, because this took time, 2 or 3 generations. But there must have been a big boss who orders, now be prepared for generations, you have to move stones in such and such a way, in such a line, in Pythagoras.
Hold on. Before we keep on going, man, let's get some insight. Wow. I like that. I like that. Because they basically stating that, you know, what we call aliens have been in contact with us for years. Some of them have been instructing us. Maybe that's what we call gods. Because they do godlike things, things that we can't fathom to understand. And the thing is, they use rock instead of like metal, like breaking it down and crafting it into metal. But the funny part is, a lot of everything we get comes from a rock. So it's like maybe there's something to that. That's why they use rock, because maybe if you use like a certain level of it and at a certain amount, that it can conduct electricity or conduct whatever you want it to conduct, and they survive a long time, you know. And stone survive through like the hands of time. Wow, that's the Anunnaki, and you know, it's something to think about, man. How they, like we talked about in the last episode, they hide the Book of Enoch and the revealing of like angels and falling down and all that stuff from heaven and making giants with humans, right? And now it seems like they want to hide from the fact that we humans like actually move these boulders and stuff. Again, it might be instructed how to move it in a more efficient way, but he still was instructed to do so. So, man, that's interesting to see how there's somebody else coming up with different ideas and different theories on what may take place in the world. And I like that because it opens up your mind to new perspectives, you know, to where that you don't have to be single-minded perspective. But I'm gonna get back to the clip though, you feel me? Because it's interesting, man. Let's see what we got going. You feel me? See what we got.
Informed. So who was given the order? Why? Was he a king? What for? And why did they obey him? So finally our ancestors did it. We have no idea how they moved it. These stone blocks are tons and tons heavy, and sometimes not in flat land, in hills. So you cannot move it with wooden rollers, for example. So we have still no idea why and how, with what technology they did it. The question is the same all over Europe. By the way, this is a phenomenon. We have stone circles in Europe, but not only in Europe. We have stone circles worldwide. Why did our Stone Age ancestors worldwide make stone circles? For what? For whom? The question is always, or the answer is always, they did it for the gods. They have checked for the gods. But go on and ask, which gods? And finally we turn out, the gods are not there. In the past, we thought the gods were the gods in nature. For example, the god is the sun, they adore the moon, etc., the stars, which is not the right answer. Why not? Because the gods gave information. They were talking. They were speaking to the people. Nature, the sun, the moon is not talking, is not giving the answer. So, who were the gods? Finally, you turn out they must have been extraterrestrials, visitors in the deep past who teach our ancestors.
Wow. And do you think that these visitors from the deep past could be the reason for a lot of these lost civilizations that we know from ancient times?
Definitely yes. Of course we have evolution. Of course we are the product of evolution. But not only of evolution. Of a sudden we have been visited by beings from outer space. By the way, which is not coincidence. You know, today our astronomers, they know which solar systems have planets, which planets are habitable planets. They know today. The extraterrestrials knew the same thing. One form of life was the most advanced form, our ancestors. Or you may say some kind of apes or chimpanzees, it doesn't matter. You took one or two exemplars, you took some cells, you changed the cells of some of these primitive beings, change the DNA code, which every biologist today knows how to do it. You put this in a liquid of nutrition, then the product in the womb of a female of the same species, the female will give birth to a child. The child is of course part of evolution, but because of this artificial mutation, the child is now going up from the evolution. Soon as you need a new population, you need at least female and male. And now you land in the story of Adam and Eve. The gods created the first Adam and Eve. And it's etc. In every holy book, including the Bible, it says the gods created humans according their own image. So these extraterrestrials did not by coincidence look similar to us. We look similar to them because we are the offspring. The gods created us according to their own image. And they promised, by the way, in the past, they will return. And I am sure they are back already.
And what's interesting is you talked about the DNA. Are there any artifacts that you can remember that kind of show the DNA, any cylinder scrolls or any texts that show these beings looking and working with DNA?
Oh yes, especially in Sumerian cylinder seals. We have some of these DNA. They look the spiral. Now, again, DNA is something very small. You need a large microscope to enlarge them. So our ancestors could never have seen the DNA. They have been taught by the extraterrestrials. Paint this in your wall. Scrap this in your wall. Why? For the generation in the far future. They must they must see these old writings and scrabblings, and they must come up with asking questions. That's exactly what we do today.
Right, absolutely. What do you think are some of the implications of these amazing discoveries on people that are living now today, if we can really understand what you know, what I know about the ancient past?
Well, the implication is that we are not only humans, we are part of a big family. You know, on our planet, we have, of course, different types of humans, but we are all humans. We are all this gigantic family of humans. If one day the extraterrestrials will return, we will not present them, hey, I am a Catholic, or I am a Protestant, or I am a Mormon. No, I am a human. We will not present, I have this political direction or that political direction. No, I am human. We all are human. We are a human society. It doesn't matter what sort of humans we are. We are all human. And this is what we represent as humanity when we get in contact with extraterrestrials.
Okay. That's interesting. That's short. I dig it. I dig it. We're all human. Nah, I dig it. I dig it, man. We all humans, and we got a right to do what we gotta do. But what you think about it, though, bro? I be talking a lot.
Boy, yo, I ain't gonna stop you, bro. Just keep it going. 'Cause I honestly too. I wasn't paying much attention to him, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah,
I ain't gonna
ain't
try to
no
fake
thing.
it.
Ain't no thing. But I feel like that just means that we have different type of humans, like from like different species, and we might call them extraterrestrial, but like you say, we just gotta all get it together. But I ain't gonna lie, right? I was in and out doing a lot of things too. So we could just move on to but I want, but it's interesting though. I want to keep on watching because I love this alien stuff, man. But I love learning beyond what we already know. You feel me?
All
You
right,
know,
outside the box thing.
right, right. And to feel like we heading in that direction. You feel me? Because I'm kind of glad he started talking about this, bro, because it kind of ties together the big-headed scientist theory, and that's why it's like, dang, this story has been told before, but it has not had this much like production behind it, because that Christianity story that had years and years of production, promotion, and actually they banned certain materials just to let it rise. So, you know, I like open thought. I like open thought because, like we say, it's like we're more than just humans. Like we are part of this whole like bigger galaxy thing that we don't even really understand. You know. So let's get back to the clip though. Let's get back to the clip.
I've been traveling around the world. I'm trying to catch up to how many miles you've put out, but I got a long way to go. You've done billions of miles. But as I travel the world, I look for these archaeological sites that have evidence of these ancient timelines. What are the most amazing archaeological sites that stand out in your mind that you've been to that give you a fresh view that we were visited by ancient aliens?
Definitely Pumapunku. Pumapunku is a site in the highland of Bolivia, roughly 3,800 meter high, near Lake Titicaca. And Pumapunku is composed of gigantic stone blocks, gigantic ones, and some small stone blocks, but they are prefabricated stone blocks. You can put them together like Lego sets, Now, roughly 400 years ago, the Spanish conquerors were up there at Pumapunku, and the locals were there too. And the Spanish conqueror was standing before gigantic platforms, and the Spanish asked the locals, "How did you move these platforms? We Spanish people, we would not be able to move them." And the locals, very timid, said, "It was not us who did it. It was the gods who did it." And the Spanish asked, "Which gods?" "The gods who descended in one night from heaven, from the sky." So normally, every culture is proud. "Oh, we did this. Our ancestors did this. We were able to do that." In that case of Pumapunku in the highland of Bolivia, the local leaders say, "No, it was not us. It was the gods from the sky who did this in one night." Now, once you have come to this solution, the gods did it, gods were extraterrestrials, why should they do something on Earth with gigantic platforms? Simply they use something which today we would call a base camp. They use something to protect their material, their equipment, so that it is not be disturbed by the nature or by animals or by humans. So they made a base camp. That's why they did it with their technology in one night. Today, when we are in Pumapunku, you clearly see gigantic platform and you see a small stone, but work together in such precise way that you can put them together as prefabricated blocks. Prefabricated means planning. Some engineer must have been sit at some place and calculate first. Otherwise you cannot put them together. That means high technology in the past, and our ancestors, Stone Age people, had no high technology and no engineering in the past.
It had to come from somebody else.
You were just answering my next question, the technology. What type of technology could these people possibly have had to build these amazing structures and cut into diorite, cut into actual granite? What do you think? What is your hypothesis on that?
We have absolutely no idea. We are standing before a black hole. The technology is definitely here. These cuttings are made. You can see them. You stand astonished for some of these blocks. And not only the large blocks with these, angles, but some small grooves have been in some diorite blocks in Pumapunku, in the highland of Bolivia. We see the result of high technology, but we have no idea what mechanics, what machines, what were used. That's why it was not done by terrestrials. It was done by extraterrestrials.
Yes, and I know that you know this, but how far away, for the viewers, how far away do some of these blocks come from? Like, for example, the granite that's located, for example, at Karnak or some of these other ancient temples in Egypt.
Okay, Karnak is not a big problem. You could have transported them in the neighborhood of about 10 kilometers. For example, Stonehenge. Everyone knows Stonehenge in England. These stone blocks were transported more than 100 kilometers away. So again, you ask, why do people transport stone blocks 100 kilometers away, and why has it to be exactly a stone circle? Why do they don't make the stone circle there where the blocks are? So because it was ordered by somebody, the place was a holy place. Why was it a holy place? Because somebody was landing there, somebody from the sky. We have the same situation today. You know, two children, for example, they come and say, we had a vision or we had an apparition of the Holy Virgin Mary. Because two children say something, the place becomes holy. Now more and more people come to this place. They want to adore the Virgin Holy Mary. Then they construct a small chapel, later a bigger church and a cathedral. In antiquity, it was the same thing. Somebody descended. The local was astonished. They couldn't understand. They knew it was from heaven. It was the God. So they made a small stone place, then a bigger, etc. On and on. And today we stand before that technology. Your question was how? We have no idea. We don't know how they made it.
Yo, that's interesting. So he basically said that humans do not have the wisdom or technology to even understand how to break that down. So it's like it has to be from somewhere else. And I like it, man. I like it, man. We can go watch it out. It looks like they get more deep into it, but that's all we gonna do for this one here. You feel me? But what you think, man? That's cool. You think you think they gonna come back, man? You think they gonna come back and set it straight?
Who
Cause
all
we
coming back?
the
Who?
aliens, the aliens. Who help us build the
Man, who say
pyramids
they
and
ever
stuff?
left, bro?
Uh-oh.
Who say they ever left, bro?
But they gotta do something crazy, man. They gotta shake it up. A lot of things happening right now. There's a lot of war going
To
on.
who? Yeah, that's us fighting amongst ourselves, and that's us fighting amongst ourselves. So
Mm.
they ain't dying America. They don't get involved in that.
No, I know that, but like, it might be messing up what they got going on, cause you know these bombs and stuff. It sent
That's
ripples.
when they step in, bro.
Yeah.
That's when they step in. When things could change the whole outline of certain things, that's when they say they step in to deviate or change things because I done seen in some episodes these UFOs and these military stuff
Hmm.
that when certain nuclear plants about to basically explode or something, they'll say something strange will fly over the base of that area and
Hmm.
prevent it from overheating or doing whatever. Like there's certain things will happen,
What?
like where they'll go over to try send off certain nuclear bombs and stuff, and they won't be able to do it.
It'll jam.
And they got footage. Yeah, yeah, they got footage of certain different things, different flying objects appearing and disappearing. They got like they say we basically protect. It's our future self protecting us now. You see what I'm
Mm.
trying to say?
Right.
Of
Right.
certain events that because they say everything that's happening now already happened. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
On a certain plane, so
So
they trying to stop this one from.
right, certain events to not happen. You see what I'm trying? So it
Okay.
could change certain things. Like I believe one event that they did change was Trump being killed by that bullet. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Yeah, I think something else might have happened that caused another big old thing, or might have been like JFK or some other thing getting ready to happen if they he the guy at that time with the bullet. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying?
So they said,
So
hold on, let's
in order
see.
for that, huh?
Go ahead. They did like some powers to like stop it, some science to stop
Yeah,
it.
that's something. Yeah, something alternated. Maybe the wind blew a little bit harder and it missed him, or the whole thing was a hoax. You never know. These
Right.
just theories. We don't know, bro. We
Right.
just
Yeah, yeah. We doing our thing.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But go ahead. My
You
bad.
see?
I interrupt you. My bad.
No, no, you ain't into that. That's all that I think. I believe there's certain events that changes the timeline from one event to the next.
Right. Right. And I feel like so they trying to say that Trump is like it's kind of good for the world right now. I guess the world is good to be shooken up a little bit.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say
Oh.
that. I wouldn't say that, bro. I just believe because see, when you dealing with the world and the difference of the worldly, the higher powers, people who got all these stocks and bonds and these different companies and these who got all these millions and family
Right.
treasures and all these companies and stuff, they ain't really thinking about the common man and how much it affects them, you know. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
No, they
They
can't.
looking at the difference of the dollars and that's what they looking at. You see what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it ain't really too much of humanity being dealt with. You see?
Mm. No, that's the truth. That's the truth, man. And that's why it's like they don't understand what we go through, man, and that's why they lose every time. You feel me? But I guess they lose to us, but win in their own way. You feel me? So what they doing, they call it a win.
Yeah, well, yeah, because see, it's not no matter what happens, it's a win for them because they playing both sides of the game. You see
Mm,
what I'm saying? Because they playing the long haul. So no matter what happens, they gonna automatically win because okay, they ain't lose the war. They might have lost the battle. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? But it's a longevity. You see what I'm saying? This the long game, bro. This ain't no short game, or this ain't about just one event happening now. You see what
right,
I'm saying?
right, yeah.
This gonna go on before even when me pass. It's still gonna be going on. What's going on before we even
Was
came
yeah,
in
right.
reality to this plane, bro.
Mm,
So it's nothing new. And there's some theories. Some say it's the aliens that's pulling the strings. So
right. And that's what they was kind of saying there too. It's like it has to be something greater than us that keeps on gravitating us to do certain things without you know a proper like thought process towards it. You feel me? But I mean, that's the beautiful thing about it. I mean, we gotta keep on researching and keep on getting to the truth. You feel me? Because that way we could definitely overstand ourselves a lot more. You know. But that's it for this one though, Padre. My bad. You had something to say? Cool. My bad.
boy, I got nothing to say,
Oh,
bro.
okay. My bad. My bad. I thought I just jumped the gun. My bad. But that's it for this one, Padres. Though, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Tell them come on in so we can learn this good knowledge. You feel me? But man, cool. What you got for the people?
Boy, I can't call it. Might spoil it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He can't call it because he might spoil it. You feel me, y'all? Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But go ahead, my apologies, man. Leave your comments. And until next time, man, keep your head up. Never get fed up. Whilst I do the same.